Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to me. I have been gone for a few days. I actually ended up working both jobs. If you don't know, I have two jobs. So I was working both jobs over the last 4 or 5 days straight, and it's one of them is a seasonal job, so it gets very busy at this time of year. So yeah, so I have been working and working, trying to get work while I can, since it is a seasonal position. And so I thought I would get on here. Part of let's rephrase this, okay. When the whole thing happened with Gabby and Brian, I really didn't intend on doing more than one reading on it. That wasn't the focus that I saw the channel going on. It wasn't what I intended to do. I tend to be more of a daily reader, signs, that type of thing. And so this was not the direction I intended the channel to go for, but I knew that I have a part of me that has a calling, and it goes back to at one point I was a ghost hunter, and I did it for about a year. I was part of Maine Ghost Hunters with Kat and Tony, who were fantastic, and they taught me so much. And I've said this before on the channel, but most people don't know that. I was actually not part of it as a psychic. I was part of it as the skeptical side of the team, because at that time I hadn't quite come out about my abilities. And so for me, I hadn't learned how to cope with them. So I wasn't about to claim I was, having these experiences. And you have to be able to own what happens. And that's a really hard part of it, is owning your abilities. When I was growing up, my mother always used to tell me I had a great imagination and I should be a writer. Well, I was a writer, and I do have a good imagination, but the things that I was saying was not part of my imagination. So yeah, so that, like I said, part of that is owning what you see, what you hear, those things you feel, what you see in the cards. Now, that's not to say that everything I see is correct, because it's not, and it's not ever going to be 100% correct for two reasons. One, I'm human. I can misinterpret the cards however they need to be, or there's also fate. And I've talked about this before, free will. Everybody has that ability, and somebody's going to get me on fate and free will, I know that, but free will. Everybody has free will to make changes at whatever time they want to. So if you decide you want to go on a different path, that's your choice, and it will take you in an opposite direction. Kind of like those books you had when you were a kid and you could choose the ending of it. I always used to reread them again and again and again to see which way the path would go if I took a different option. So yeah, so we're gonna get back to, boy, it's stuffy in here. It's what, October 25th, and I have come from a long line of very frugal New Englanders, which means I normally don't turn my heat on until November 1st. But today is really yucky out, and it's going to get worse for the next 2 days. So the heat came on, but that also means it's, it's really stuffy and yucky when you first turn on the furnace. So yeah, all right, so we're going to jump in this. If I said that about Brian and Gabby, why am I doing a reading now? I don't know. It's certainly not to make any money off of it or get any fame or anything like that, because I don't make any money, and I've never advertised, so it's not that. And I think part of it is everyone has followed along so closely that there is this want for resolution. And I'm not entirely sure that we're going to get that from this case. Do I believe that was actually Brian? Yeah, I do believe it was Brian. But again, I have tried to stay away from the media. I've tried not to listen to things. But I did hear that Brian's parents were the one that found him. And I find that very suspect. Even without any abilities, I find that very suspect. And so we're going to do a reading on that. I want to do a reading on whether there was a deal that was made. I think the longer it went on, the FBI was feeling like they were as if they were looking bad because they hadn't found him. Frankly, to find anything in that reserve would be amazing. They did find like 6 people who they didn't expect. But to find Brian in that, needle in a haystack, people. The fact that his parents went in there and found him within a half an hour tells me a couple of things. It tells me that they most likely knew where he was. They knew he was deceased before the FBI could find him. They were waiting for him to find him, in my opinion. And this is my opinion for entertainment purposes only. I think they knew he was gone. And I think that because of that, there was an agreement that was come together. And I know I'm not alone. I know I've seen headlines. I haven't watched videos, but I've seen headlines of other people saying this, but that's what it feels like to me. So we're going to do a reading on it. Okay. Was there... Jeez. Wow. All right. So I dropped the card right off the bat. Emperor. Someone in authority. Someone who is watching over this. Someone who has been making decisions, someone of authority and power. That's interesting. So what popped out was not part of the Rider-Waite deck, which I find very interesting. Because I keep the two together. They do have the same backs, but I didn't realize it was in the deck, or I would have taken it out. So what it came out is Ansus, which is the symbol here. And if you've seen me use these cards before, this one does have a negative meaning and a positive meaning on it, or an opposites meaning. This is for Loki, represents Loki. And if you know who Loki is, you know he was a trickster. And it came up as miscommunication, insincerity, and imbalance. And as I said, this isn't part of that deck. So the fact that that popped out, it's a little surprising. All right. Was there an agreement for entertainment purposes only between the Laundrie family and the alphabet companies to bring this to a close. Was there an agreement between the Laundries and the alphabet companies to bring this to a close? Someone holding tight to information. They're clutching tight to what they've got. A lot of infighting. And it feels to me like they were perpetuating an agreement. They were, for entertainment purposes only, because this is yucky, but they were strategizing, creating an environment where they could get what they wanted. And they created that culture. They worked, this is to me is the Laundries and their lawyer working together to come out to what was beneficial between them all. And they took a chance on it. So you can make from that what you want, but to me, it looks like they made an agreement. What I want to know is the things that they found and apparently continue to find. Like I said, I try to avoid it, but sometimes you hear things. That stuff that they found, was that seated in that place by the Laundries? Did they put those things there? Because I have a really hard time believing that something like 20 feet away from where his car was, that was not searched or highly investigated at some point. So let's put it this way, was it seated by someone? Was the site that he was found, was things put in that place that were not necessarily there when they searched? Yes. This would be someone, an adult male, with a controlling nature, trying to hold on to what he has. You can take from the... There's a Queen of Pentacles to go with it. That right there tells me everything that I need to know about that situation. So, I mean, that's yeah. Do I think we're ever going to know the full contents of what? I think that there's so many people who are playing sleuth here. Somebody's going to find out something, one way or the other. But are we ever going to know exactly what happened between Gabby and Brian? Are we ever going to know exactly what happened between Gabby and Brian? No. In order for us to do that, there will be some conclusions that come out, but we're never going to find out the exact truth. because if we do that, it's going to expose some things that they don't want others to see. So, yeah. So, there's that. Crazy. It's crazy and it's sad. I've done a lot of thinking about what direction I want the channel to go in. I apologize, you can hear cars, but this is the best light. It is a very gloomy day. So if you hear the cars, I apologize. I think I will do some. I don't want it to be the main focus. And if you're going to somebody else, I can tell you some really good ones to watch. A couple that I have found recently is the Small Medium. She's excellent. There is, I want to think it's Aura channel. She does fantastic readings as well. And the Real Housewives of Tarot. But and they're all very, very good, and they are all geared towards crime investigation. It's a really hard thing to get into, to read on. It does suck a lot of personal energy out of you, and it can be very draining. People think that, you know, it's just cards, and it's not. It's energy, and when you're pulling things in, they're using your energy as well, so it can take a toll on you. So all right, so we're gonna do one last drawing for today. So today is the 25th. It is Monday. It is a rainy Monday. So what do we need to know for our higher good? Live in positivity. Going forward with this day, what do we need to know? For today, October 25th, 2021, what do we need to know? Love those around you. Friendships, it's all about relationships. It's about reveling in your relationships. Enjoy, and also, what's the word I'm looking for? And it's right there. To feel gratitude. I'm messing this up, but to feel gratitude in your relationships, to value them, to appreciate them, to invest in them, and to enjoy them. And those will be the things that will bring you joy. So, all right, it is it for now. I will pop on as soon as I can again. I want to thank you. If you've stuck around this long, thanks for doing that. I appreciate it. And I hope you all are safe and healthy. I'm sending blessings from Maine. Bye-bye.